Welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. Where have I just gone? There I am. Uh, Obviously, before we start today's show, R.I.P. James L. Jones, voice of Darth Vader, Mufasa. We all love him. Sad to see him go, but he lived a long, good life. He was in his 90s, I believe, Kyle. So, obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with his family. But I'm pretty sure he lived a good, fulfilled life. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll just try to lighten mood a bit now. Kyle, how's your day been? You been working?
It's been all right. Just lots of stories happening as of late.
All last night when
I've
we were
seen.
going to bed. Like, when I were going to bed,
Yeah,
all this stuff was coming out last night. So,
yeah. Sorry we didn't do Monday's show either. Our friend just bought Space Marines and we said we'd play with him. So
our 50-year-old friend.
Yeah,
He's not 50, sorry, Wayne.
he's 60.
He's closer than we are.
Yeah. No, yeah, we've been playing a bit of that, but yeah, just a lot's been coming out lately, especially when it comes to Spider-Man. So there's quite a few.
Yes, like these first three stories are all tied to Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah. So
So,
we'll start off with obviously the movie they did, the Spider-Verse films. Um,
yes.
you
Have you
Callum
have
did
you
the banner for today.
have you
Callum
seen
did the
this?
banner for today. I have. Callum did the banner for today, and Callum, you were sorry for the bubbles, but you did it perfectly. Sony is being fucking Sony
Yeah.
again,
Yes.
and it's really pissing me off
Yes.
because
So let me explain it a bit before we
yeah,
jump into this. So this has actually been refuted by the composer as well. So I want to give this side of it as well. But Jeff Schneider has come out, obviously the most trusted source out there when it comes to scoops and insider information to do with the industry. He knows it all. He knows what's going on. He's saying that they've actually scrapped a majority of the work they've done on Beyond the Spider-Verse, and it's being pushed to 2027. Now, he says the animators are happy they've got a bit more time to work on things, but also the composer has come out, and he's kind of refuted that. He said, no, it's not true. But obviously, Jeff Schneider's not going to know if this is happening or not. And obviously, the composer's not going to come out and say if it has been or not. But I do believe Jeff Schneider would have been told this. Not saying it's necessarily true, but I do believe he has probably been told this. And from what we're hearing lately about Sony's relationship with Lord and Miller, obviously Lord and Miller have pulled out of the Spider Noir show that it was heavily involved in. They're no longer connected to that over creative differences. Could we be seeing a world where Beyond the Spider-Verse just falls through? Or do you think they're going to want to hold on to it and try and push through and get done and finish this trilogy?
I think it's a scary thing because obviously if they lose Lord and Miller to this with creative differences, I think Sony should genuinely just get their filthy fucking hands off this project. You know, leave it as it is. They are fucking it up. They are trying to. I guarantee you, they're trying to shoehorn in
Yeah.
something here to do with their Sony multiverse live
Yeah,
action shite.
exactly. And then to cover this story up, they release a PS5 Pro and charge us 700 quid for it.
Yeah, Sony is not in a good light as of recently. They've really made some questionable. I'm not even gonna say questionable. They're fucking stupid decisions. Um, yeah, it's just not. I don't know what Sony. What are you doing? You're kind
Yeah.
of falling into this
Now,
kind of.
if this is true, this is done because it's obviously Lord and Miller's creative vision that's got them as far as they have for these Spider-Verse films. I just don't want to believe that they've reworking it completely. But we also know as well that Lord and Miller don't always play by the book. Obviously, they was originally directing Solo, and then Kathleen Kennedy didn't even check any of the dailies or all like that. Kathleen Kennedy comes down and goes, "Oh my god, you've shot a completely different film to what we wanted. You've just gone off script and everything." So there's that aspect as well. But Lord and Miller are geniuses, and they know what they're doing. And if they're not being able to be themselves, I don't really think there's any point in going forward with this. Just think, Kyle, this film was supposed to be out March this year. We're now in September, and they're scrapping what they've already done, allegedly. It was already a crazy quick turnaround anyway, and we thought, oh, it's taking so long because they're going to do like a near enough back-to-back release for the next two. Well, it turns out when the second one came out, they hadn't even started on this one. So how did they even think in the head that they was going to get this third film out like 9 months later?
I just, do you know what? I think Sony probably shoehorned in that little, Venom cameo. It's not necessarily Venom. It was
Mrs. Chang.
the lady who works in the grocery shop. So I bet that was Sony's idea to put that in, because it just felt a little out of place, especially in the film.
I loved the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield stuff in it.
That was nice. No, that definitely was.
It still felt a bit to me.
No, I disagree with the Toby and Andrew stuff, because it was just it was more of a background thing. This was kind of like they're acknowledging, look, this is the Venom universe is still kicking and going, because they didn't show anything else different from the Spider-Man films with Toby and Andrew. But it kind of feels like Sony just said, oh, people really liked that little 2-second clip of, Spot going into the Venom universe. Let's fucking do all that. And it's like, no, we do not want anything to do with your shitty universe to do with this fantastic, beautifully crafted universe which they've created in the Spider-Verse films.
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
Look,
it's frustrating and it's annoying.
Look, I like the Venom films for what they are as well, but they should not be compared to these masterpieces at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, look, I hope there's like a nice middle ground here. It's like, no, they haven't scrapped everything, they're just reworking some things, sort of deal. Or it's been pushed to 2027, so the animators have got more time to work on the existing stuff that's already there and stay in with that original vision. But anyway, who knows? Just Sony being Sony, unfortunately. But
Stupid decisions galore.
Let's move on to talk about Sony.
Spider-Man.
Yes, Sony when they get in the handheld by Marvel Studios. Spider-Man 4 has found its director, and I don't think they could have found a better one. This is one of them choices that's not in my head. You put it in front of me. Oh my god, this is amazing. Destin Daniel Cretton of SHANG-CHI, and he's just wrapped on the Wonder Man show as well. So we'll have to see how that comes out. Well, this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. He's going to be directing Spider-Man 4. Now, I love this. I know you love this, Kyle. All I'm going to say is now, you need to give me Daredevil with this man directing. You need to give me Daredevil with this man directing, and I will die a happy man. But what do you think to the news?
I know it's already a topic afterwards. I won't say much about it, but I'll say this is a great choice for this next film. Obviously, it's hard to see what they're going to do next. Obviously, everyone wants for it to be a sort of a street level grounded film, because that's what they've set up with Spider-Man now. That's how they left it. So let's follow that through. But obviously we heard, a couple of things a couple of months ago, whispers and rumours about Sony wanting to do another multiverse film because of how successful No Way Home was.
Which No Way
I
Home
love
wasn't success.
Andrew.
Yeah,
I love Andrew. I love Toby. They had their part and they did their part in that film. I don't need to see him again now. Not until at least what Avengers
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars. That's when I'm happy to next see him. I do not want to see him now jumping into this film, adding all this extra multiversal stuff. It's so unnecessary. Street level is where we are with Spider-Man, and it's what we want to see.
It's where we
We've
left
obviously
off.
got yeah, we've got Daredevil obviously on the way. People are excited for that. People were really happy with his little cameo in No Way Home as well. So it makes sense. All these things together, it makes sense. But again, it's one of those things of Sony being Sony. Are they going to push for this multiversal bullshit, or are they
Well,
going to leave it to the actual creative people?
so here's what I think. I think we might get street level now, simply because Marvel's got one of their guys in, and that's what they wanted. They wanted the grounded street level story. So now I'm not saying Destin can't do big spectacle. Obviously, he was on to do the Kang Dynasty. Kang Dynasty fell through. It was no longer the Kang Dynasty, so Destin obviously exited the project because it was going to be a completely different film to one he signed on to do. But look, they give us this street level Scorpion and Kingpin, I'm thinking. Go on.
I mean, yeah, give me that.
Giving a load of, a nice, like, obviously we've got Michael Mando in the first Spider-Man film as Matt Gargan. Let's tie that loose end up. Let's get Daredevil in to tie that loose end up of actually having Daredevil and Spider-Man on screen together. And Kingpin. Vincent D'Onofrio's already said he wants to smash that little cunt's head in or something like that. So,
Yeah. It just makes sense, but again, it's just, are Sony going to be Sony about this? Probably. They'll get their hands on this in some shape or form.
And well within their rights well within their rights, so it's their property at the end of the day. As much as we might want to not like that, it is their IP.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be respect them for it. I think
No.
I don't respect them for it at all. So this is great news. Obviously, when we get onto our next topic, it's kind of bad news for something else.
Or is it? Because I just want to finish talking up about this, but yeah. Now, do you think we're gonna get a crazy, like, I'd love to see like a good Spider-Man one shot, like action scene.
Probably, yeah. It would fit the tone of street level as well. Rather than him having, because you got to think he's making his own stuff now, so it's not going to be as powerful.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as diverse. He won't be able to save everything and everyone, kind of thing. He's really going to be, it's the Spider-Man we all know and love. He's got his own gadgets.
The only thing that can dethrone, for me, the Deadpool and Wolverine one going across is a Spider-Man and Daredevil one.
Which is very, it's very possible now. Deadpool and Wolverine. What about Spider-Man and Daredevil? Like, I'm up for that.
That's all I want. That's all I want in life. It's all I want, because I know it's the only time that we're going to be able to go to the cinema, right, and both be like, oh my god, my favourite characters on screen at the same time. Yeah, we've had it before, haven't we? In No Way Home.
We have. Yeah,
like I say, you know me, I had
want to see these guys in action.
I had a bigger reaction when that Kane came in than I did for Toby and Andrew. I was just sat there slapping my seat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Destin Daniel Cretton, perfect choice. It just got put in front of me and I thought, do you know what? Yes.
Now, the question I ask you, Callum, will this follow through? Will this stick? So to speak, because again, if Sony's being Sony with Spiderverse, and that's only the third film. This is the fourth film now. I get it that Marvel have a lot more control when it comes to obviously this, as opposed to obviously
Yeah,
Spider-Verse.
they're nothing to do with the
Literally,
Spider-Verse at all.
yeah.
Marvel Studios.
So I know that's what I mean. So Sony is in control of the whole Spider-Verse thing. They're not so much in control of the live action. Like they have one hand on the steering wheel. But so does Marvel.
It's a partnership. Very 50-50. But I think what Marvel needs to do is, at the end of the day, is turn around and say, no, look, this needs to happen this way. You wanted to come play in our playground, so you play by our rules.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But no. Could you think of another director? Are you happy it's not the Fast and Furious director like going on about a couple
yeah,
months
I'm
ago?
over the moon for that because, you know...
But it's like they went from like one of like not a great choice to the perfect choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, before we go, Daredevil Spider-Man 1, I want it, make it happen. If it doesn't, I'll push Kyle off a bridge.
Thanks.
Yeah, I won't do it to myself, mate. Oh, that went wrong. There we go. Shang-Chi 2. Now, we've just come to you with a story that Destin Daniel Cretton is directing Spider-Man 4. Well, this is coming to us from Jeff Snyder again. He's filling our stories today. Shang-Chi is on hold. The development of it, anyway. Now, yeah, this kind of sucks because I love Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is definitely easily top 3 post Endgame movie. Probably even in my MCU top 10 as well. I love this film. I kind of wanted a sequel sooner. Now that the director's going on to make Spider-Man 4, I don't want to see Shang-Chi without Destin attached because he brought so much to it. Do you think we're going to get this before the Avengers films? Or after? Now? Or do you think they'll even continue with the Shang-Chi franchise?
I would like them to. You know, it's one of those things, it's like, I'd like them to do Midnight Suns. I'd like them to get fucking Blade out there.
Yes.
But it's a tough one to call, really, because they've left themselves now. You know, it's the fault of obviously what they did with the whole, you know, Marvel shows and cranking out loads of stuff, and
Yeah,
you know, some of it were good, some of it were bad,
but so disconnected.
Yeah. So what I'll say to this is like, yeah, I would love them to do it, and I think it's more likely to happen. I think it's more likely to happen than the Blade film, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, we're just it's a tough one because they've got not much time left, and every time we talk about Marvel now, I'm always thinking, fuck, they've literally got barely any time left to crank out something in between.
Well, I've got a solution here. I do think we'll see Shang-Chi in the Avengers films. I do think we'll see him in something before the Avengers films, not his own film. But I think Shang-Chi 2 will be the first film in the new universe. The reboot universe, I would say.
I disagree.
Well, you're not allowed. You're not allowed.
I disagree. I think it's
literally what I just said. What I just said about Sony, right? Being in Marvel's playground, you play by their rules. You got to fucking play by mine.
Yeah. Anyways,
So
I think it's very likely. It's more likely it will release between the two Avengers films.
That is a good release date as well. That is a good release date as well. But I think, look, you're gonna have your Fantastic Four cast. Your Fantastic Four cast are gonna be shooting between. They're gonna be shooting their film Then they're probably going to go on to do Doomsday and Secret Wars one after another. I don't think they're going to be ready to do a Fantastic Four film to start this new universe. Could it be X-Men? Maybe. But I think you take a character who kind of started Phase 4 films. Because obviously we had Black Widow, but that was set before. This man kind of started the Phase 4 films. Let's give him that fresh start again, but at the beginning of the Avengers, at the beginning of this new universe.
I disagree with that. I don't think that's
I'm
good
telling you,
idea.
you're not allowed to disagree.
Right, okay. But no, I don't think that's a good idea just because everyone loves this character, everyone loves this version of this character. There's still a lot of unexplained things with the character, like the history of his father. Yeah, he's the, ruler of the Ten Rings and stuff like that, but I'm sure there's a lot of history there, and it just feels like it'd be a massive waste, a massive opportunity, if you will, to just completely, not entirely reset it. It's probably going to be like similar to the Daredevil situation if they do that, but I don't think that's a good idea, personally. I think this version of Shang-Chi that we have, the sequel to the obviously to the film, I think it's very likely that it'll release somewhere in between. I can imagine that maybe he's not going to be in the main MCU universe, like in the Shang-Chi film. The finale takes place in another universe. We can't forget that. So maybe he's gone there, or he's gone to somewhere else, or something like that, and then he's that's where his story takes place, so the whole Doomsday thing doesn't affect it too much. Maybe at the end of Doomsday, it's kind of like the Ant-Man thing, where it's like, only at the end of the film, after the events of whatever happens in Doomsday, it sort of like coincides with the ending of that film. So
it's just
that's why I see the safest bet is.
I just see him being in Doomsday though, because when they were pushing out Shang-Chi, like, all the marketing was, this is your new Avenger, meet your new Avenger, your new Avenger's here. And really, after that, they haven't marketed anyone as an Avenger but Shang-Chi.
Yeah, but you got Captain Marvel as well, and she wasn't in Infinity War, and she got her film afterwards, and I'm pretty sure they were marketing the hell out of her. She wasn't classed as obviously the first Avenger, because then that would just, your title, your first Cap film as the first Avenger, but I'm pretty sure she was marketed as like one of the first heroes or something like that, or something along the lines.
Well, it's a call sign, wasn't it? When she was a pilot, the Avenger, something like that.
Yeah.
Look,
so that's where I see it.
I want Shang-Chi 2 to happen. And this, like I said, this is the negative of Destin going to do Spider-Man 4. This is going to get pushed some more. But if it wasn't ready to happen, because look, I'd hate this thing to be Iron Man 2. You know what I mean? Comes out before the Avengers films or something like that, and you think, well, that was just an advert for the Avengers films. That was very filler.
I don't think they've had that problem since Iron Man 2, so...
No, they haven't, exactly. And I don't want that to happen, which could be a possibility.
I don't think it'll happen. I think they've learned from their mistake with that one. Because that was a long time ago. It was at the start, so I definitely don't think that's going to happen.
And your mum learnt with her mistake with having you.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't had any more since. You fucking lonely child. Right, next topic. Elizabeth Olsen has been speaking about coming back as Scarlet Witch. And she said, if they could find a good way to do it, I'd love to come back. Now, I won't ask you if you want to see Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch again, because I know you do. Who doesn't? What project coming up do you think she could fit nicely into?
Well, I would say the Midnight Suns, but we haven't even got Blade yet, so...
Spider-Man 4?
No, I don't think that's
Shang-Chi
again.
2.
That's if they see if Sony had their way,
Spiderverse.
Scarlet Witch. No. If Sony had their way, Scarlet Witch would definitely be in Spider-Man 4. But I don't think, obviously, that's the case. I think it's going to be street level with Spider-Man 4. Because, look at the Spider-Man films we've had before. They've had a mainline character in those films. That's a way for them to get her on screen, I suppose. But I really struggle to see where she could fit. Maybe, I'd like to say that she would appear in Secret Wars. Doomsday, though, I'm not too sure. I think they're going to leave a little bit of... They won't have much room left, especially when they're trying to introduce new characters. So and bunk up these characters as this is the next Avengers sort of mainline team. So I don't know. They left Scarlet Witch in a very weird place.
Look, there was that Red Flash. She ain't dead. I think she's still alive somewhere, somehow.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, there was a Green Flash when Hela died, so... Or whatever, but...
And Hela's still alive as well.
We don't know that. We just don't know. I think they left it in a really weird spot of like...
That's what's happened, is Doom's been going around collecting people, and when they're just about to die, they make a flash of what colour they're wearing. And they go, "Oh, I'm dead!" And it's like, Green Flash!
See, now that would work if the Flash was green and consistent, because green's Doom's
I
colour.
said it's what colour they're wearing, so it's like, oh...
Yeah, I know, but...
Oh, Red Flash.
But, no. I don't see where she can fit, other than Secret Wars.
I think she could maybe, possibly, somewhat, kinda, fit into Doomsday.
I don't think so. Again, you don't want to overcrowd your movie with unnecessary fluff. And I'm not saying Scarlet Witch is that, but when you've got your mainline new Avengers and you need to bunk them up and you need to make them stand out and have their own moments, there's not a lot of room for Scarlet Witch to fit in there.
Maybe like part of it's like, oh, we need to find someone so powerful who can beat the Doom. So let's go try find the witch, yo.
I don't know. I mean, they kind of, it's not really a retcon, but it was like the whole point of Multiverse of Madness was she needed America Chavez to go travel the multiverse when she could have easily just gone to a universe, stealing some, 2 Infinity Stones, got on a sling ring, and then she could travel to the rest of the multiverse.
That's a thing now, isn't it? Yeah. That's a thing
now. That's a thing now.
That's a thing now. That's a thing now. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Scarlet Witch. You kind of put me off with the whole sling ring thing. Oh, damn you, Kyle. I had a really good intelligent point as well.
You said she was going to appear where you think potentially she could appear.
Yes, that's right. We've got a show coming out next week called Agatha All Along. I don't see why. Maybe not a full appearance. Maybe a little cameo in that. Maybe,
but let's be honest, Callum. No one really cares about Agatha.
I don't.
And it's sad because I love the character.
I love the character.
WandaVision, but this show is just not something I'm overly looking forward to. I will watch it.
Too little, too late.
Yeah.
Right. I think that'll do us for today. Kylie, want to tell the people what we've been doing while we've been gone?
Just playing a lot of Space Marine.
I've been playing so much Space Marine.
Yeah.
So much Space Marine.
Yeah. Why don't you end the show, Callum, and then we can go play some Space Marine?
That's a fucking great idea. Right, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you when we're done playing Space Marine 2, guys.
Yeah.
We're not playing first one. We're playing new one. See you later, mush.